What is going on today, guys? We're going to be talking about some of the upcoming fight cards. We're going to preview them. We're going to make some early predictions for the next couple cards. UFC Perth, UFC 320, October 4th, and the Oliveira versus Fiziev Brazil card that is right after that. I cannot wait. We're also going to talk about Reiner de Ritter versus Brendan Allen, some early predictions for that card as well. And we're going to be bashing the UFC for the lack of promotion that it gives its own company. Back in the day when big fights like this were happening, Reyes coming off of a 3-fight win streak, Olberg in title contention. I believe this is the number one contender fight for 205. It could also be Khalil versus Jiri. I understand what the UFC is doing by having two big fights back to back to see which guy made more of a statement, which guy deserves the title most. I get it. It makes sense. Very, very smart by the UFC. What I don't understand is why there is a lack of promotion for our stars, the people who have given their life to the sport, like Oliveira, like Alex Pereira, like Dominic Reyes, like Merab Dvalishvili, like Yuri Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree. Why there's no promotion, no hype, no love. Reiner de Ritter, who's taken 5 fights in a little over a year since he's joined the UFC. January 18th, 2025. May 3rd, 2025. July 26th, 2025. November 9th, 2024. By the time this fight happens, that's 5 fights in 1 year. No hype, no love, no promotion. That's why I'm forced to make these videos, because I love this sport and I love this company and I love these fighters. These guys give their heart out every single time they step in the octagon. They give their heart out in training, and they don't deserve this lack of promotion and love from the company. Especially somebody like Reiner de Ritter or Alex Pereira or even Dominic Reyes, who is going on a bad skid of KOs and losses and is coming back and has built himself back up to be this guy. Alex Pereira was the saving grace of the UFC in 2024 with all those cancellations. UFC 300, short notice versus Jamal Hill. Yuri Prohaska, 303, International Fight Week, short notice again. November versus Khalil Roundtree, short notice again. He picked up 3 title fights last year on short notice, back to back to back to back. And now he's facing a rematch versus Ankalaev in October, less than 2 weeks away. No promotion, no love, no hype, no nothing. Canelo versus Crawford got months of promotion, months of love. The amount of production they put into that was almost too much because the pacing took so fucking long. But these guys can't get any love, no promotion, nothing. Like, it drives me fucking crazy, man. What happened to the company we used to love so much? Olberg versus Reyes, UFC Fight Night. We're going to go through these. We're going to name off some quick, boom, boom, boom predictions. I think Olberg's going to chin Reyes. Unfortunately, I don't think the rise of Reyes is going to get past Carlos Olberg, who's a great counter striker. I think Dominic Reyes is kind of sloppy coming in, and I think he's beat lesser than top opposition in the UFC so far. That's why he's on this streak. Quick little tidbit for that one. We'll get more into details next week when the fight's actually around the corner. Ibo Aslan should chin Junior Tafa. Pretty easy choice. Ramon Tavares versus Jack Jenkins. Jack Jenkins should win this one via decision or late 3rd round TKO. I think Jack Jenkins is very good. He's just had some tough luck in the UFC. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Urslan. Interesting. Never heard of this guy. I'll go with Jimmy Crute, who's been showing a lot of dedication and good fights recently. He got that good draw with Bellato is crazy. Maybe I will go with Ivan Uslan, who I don't know who you are. Who are you, sir? You got chinned against Sterling. No. You lost. Oh, you lost against Kutilava? Yeah, I'm going to go with Jimmy Crute, brother. Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. I don't think Neil Magny's the same fucking guy. Jake Matthews should get this one via decision or on the feet, just by leg kicks. That is Jake Matthews' game. Leg kicks, a little bit of ground game, decent striking. Tom Nolan should get this one done over Charlie Campbell. The Taffa brothers are on here together, huh? I haven't seen Justin Taffa in a minute. I'll go with Louis Sutherland. He was that big piece of shit, wasn't he? Navajo Sterling versus Rodolfo Bellato. Navajo Sterling should chin him within the first round. Bellato's a fraud. He's a pussy. Not a big fan of this fucking guy. Loma Lubumi versus Alexia Thainara. She got the last win over Molly McCann. She's 12-1. She should get the win over Loma if she decides to take it to the ground. Loma's not very good on the ground. She's a Thai fighter. Pretty said and done. Oban Elliott versus Jonathan Mikalev. This is a tough one, man. I think Oban Elliott is very good, very talented, but Jonathan's a big motherfucker. I'll go with Oban Elliott. I hope he can bounce back, man. There's a bit of bias in that one. I'm a big fan of Oban. Cameron Rouston versus Andre Petrosky. Cameron should get this one done. He trains with Adesanya. He trains with Sterling. He's very good. He got that knockout on Dana White Contender Series. He came back. He showed out. Andre Petrosky's just not that fucking good. Kobe Thicknessy versus Josias Musasa. I think Colby's really good. He trains with Volk. We've seen him in there again against the Topuria other brother, Alexandre Topuria. Very good fighter. Very talented. I would love to see him in there beat Josas Musasa, who I think he will beat. Jamie Malarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. Not too familiar with your game, big guy. 3-fight losing streak for Martin Bedoya. Decision. Lost against Sankanan, lost against Williams, lost against Herbert. I guess I'll go with Jamie Malarkey. That one's kind of a toss-up. Both guys are shit. I'll go with Luna Carolina, and I'll go with Brandano Perikic. Heavyweights. Fuck yeah. Start off the night with heavyweights. Move on to the next card. Again, no promotion, no love, no shout outs, no fucking nothing. Why? Alex Pereira, I'm going to lean towards his way. I think he almost got it done last time. With the virus, with the broken hand, on the short notice, the activity, he still almost got it done against Magomed. I think on a full training camp with plenty of rest beforehand, no injuries, he should get this one done. Probably by 3rd or 4th round TKO. My guess. Merab versus Corey Sandhagen. I'm going with Merab. He's probably going to steamroll Sandhagen. I don't think Sandhagen's ever going to be able to train for a guy like this. Unless he gets one of those jumping shit, but we just can't count on that. Think about who he did that to. Not the best opponents. Marlon Moraes. And who else? Frank Yeager. You know, Frank Yeager and Michael Moraes. Tough break, buddy. Tough break. Yuri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. I think the way you beat Khalil Roundtree is if you make it a dirty fucking fight. I think these clean strikers, unless you're Alex Pereira, who ended up making it a dirty fight, you're not going to beat Khalil Roundtree. And I think Yuri Prochazka has what it takes to beat Khalil. He has the granite chin. It's back in action. We saw that in his last fight. And I think he's going to get the title shot if he beats Khalil, which I understand. If Khalil beats Yuri, I think he'll get the title shot too. I don't think they want Olberg to get the title shot. I don't think they want Reyes to get the title shot, to be honest with you. I think this is the real number one contenders fight for light heavyweight. I'm going to go with Yuri. I'm leaning towards Yuri, just given the unorthodoxness. I don't think Roundtree's ever faced someone like this. And I think Roundtree likes to keep it clean. He does not like getting into a dogfight. Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. Zalal should get it done if he keeps it clean, does his little tippy tap, and stays on the outside. He's very good. He lasted against Topuria. I know Topuria took it on short notice, but very good, very quick, very fast. Josh Emmett does not do well against those type of fighters who likes to keep it on the outside. Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. I thought Abus was coming off of a couple wins. He is. Yeah, he is. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Joe Pyfer's on a 2-fight win streak. Interesting. I guess winner gets a ranking spot. I'm leaning towards Abus. I think he's a lot more talented. I think he has more in the arsenal than Joe Pyfer does. Pyfer doesn't really have much in the arsenal, man, to be honest with you. He hits really hard, but I think he's a bit overrated because Gastelum could take it, which I understand. Gastelum has the fridge chin of all fridge chins, but I just think Abus is going to be too much. And I think now that he's fixed his gas tank and worked on his cardio, I think he's going to be a lot better, man. Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Not familiar with Ozzy Diaz. He beat Santos. He lost against Ming Yang, who's a shit fighter. Ateba should get this one done via KO in the first couple rounds. He is a monster at middleweight. This fucking guy is a monster. Okay. Well, what is going on? Monster at middleweight. Coming off of 1, 2, probably 3 first-round KOs. Edmund Shabazian should beat Andre Muniz, who just lost against Ali Skarov to a body shot. Enough said. Edmund Shabazian's not fucking losing to a body shot. Look at the size of his ribs. Pretty said and done. Pretty fucking easy. Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat. Win, win, win. Decision, submission over Rodriguez. He beat Blackshear. I don't think he's that good, and I think Gutierrez is probably going to out-fucking point him. Macy's probably going to beat Santos. Pachimix is probably going to lose to Wicklax. And it's a toss-up for Hardy versus Brogan Walker. Hardy looks better. Let's go with her. Yeah. On to the next event, because nobody else wants to give these fights hype. Oliveira stepping in on way too short notice after getting flatline KO'd like he's never been flatline KO'd before against Ilia Topuria in UFC 317 that happened at the end of June, which was July. Basically, it was July. August, September, October. This screams retirement. He wants to fight in Brazil. He doesn't know when the next card is going to be in Brazil. He probably wants to retire in Brazil. After getting flatline KO'd, he's not going to be fighting for a title anytime soon. He's going to be that guy that turns. He's going to be the gatekeeper of the title shot. And I don't think Oliveira wants that. I'm going to go with Rafael Fiziev by first round TKO. I think he's going to land a quick combo. And I think he's going to TKO Oliveira. We've seen this before with Volk. Too short notice. You can't just come back after getting flatline KO'd 3 months later with no rest in between, which means he got less than a month's rest before he started rolling and training. And the doctors say it's 6 months protocol of no activity, no hard sparring, no hard rolling, training, yes, no activity for at least 4 to 6 months. He's getting back in the cage, not back in training camp, back in the cage within 3 months of getting flatline KO'd last June, at the end of June, beginning of July. Davison Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. Davison should get this one done by lighter man scale. He's probably going to be a little demon in there, a lot faster than Montel Jackson. Pretty said and done. Randy Brown's going to beat the fuck out of Gabriel Bonfim in his hometown. Fuck Bonfim. You lost against Stephen Thompson. You're a piece of shit. You don't deserve that ranking. Randy Brown does. Honata Denise versus Pinto. I'm going to go with Denise. I think he's a bit better on the feet than Pinto. Walter Walker's probably going to get another heel hook submission on the ground. Muhammad Usman sucks. Vicente Luque versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. This smells, this reeks of a Luque KO. Probably within the first 2 rounds. Ponzinibbio is very chinny. He's been in the game a long fucking time. Clayton Carpenter versus Rafael Filho. I'm going to go with Filho, probably by decision. Clayton Carpenter has a very good chin. Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. I go with Michael Aswell. Vitor Petrino versus Thomas Peterson. Pretty easy matchup. Vitor Petrino should get this one done within the first round. He's very good at heavyweight. He's a fucking monster at heavyweight. 205 was never his weight class. That's why he got chinned out. Thomas Peterson is a dead man in Brazil. Ricardo Ramos versus Khan Ofli. I'm going to go with Ofli. Lucas Rocha versus Stuart Nickel. No idea who these guys are. Julia Polastri versus Karolina Kowalski. I'm going to go with Julia. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it for the video. Love to see the UFC give no hype, no promotion, no love to these fights, to these fighters. You know what? Let's go over the last one. Let's see what other fights were added to that as well. They haven't even changed the fucking picture yet. Brandon Allen versus Reynard Ritter. Reynard Ritter's probably going to win this one via body shot KO. Don't think Brandon Allen's that good, especially on whatever, notice it is. 4 weeks notice, less than 4 weeks notice. I don't think Brendan Allen's that good, like I said. If Marvin Vettori's landing 1-2s on you, what do you think Rainer de Ritter's goofy ass is going to land on you, brother? Kevin Holland versus Michael Malott. Weirdly, I can see Kevin Holland winning this one. But who knows? Man. Marlon Chito Vera versus Ayman Zahabi. Zahabi almost lost against Old Man Aldo. I think Chito Vera is going to come back swinging. I think he's going to get this one done if he can fucking start a little bit earlier. It's been a long time since we've seen Chito Vera in there. I think he can get it done against someone like Zahabi, who is no threat at all on the feet. Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. Jasmine's very good, and I think she's going to beat the shit out of Fiorot. Cody Gibson versus Aroki Glang. I'm going to go with him because Cody Gibson's shit. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Favola. Both guys coming off of a KO loss. I'm going to go with Matt Favola. I think he's faced better competition. Charles Jourdain over Davey Grant. I think Charles Jourdain's pretty fucking good, especially at bantamweight. I think he can get it done. I think he was a bit too small for featherweight. Davey Grant's good and fucking crafty. He's a crafty vet. He is the definition of the craftiest vet alive. Big crafty. Crafty guy. Craft maxing. Bruno Silva's back in there after getting flatline KO'd versus Joshua Van. I'm going to pick Hyung Sung Park. Danny Barlow's back in there after getting flatline KO'd. He's going against Santos, who just lost, I believe, right? A decision. I'm going to go with Santos. Drew Dober versus Kyle Prepelec. I thought Prepelec was a... I thought he was a featherweight, brother. I'm going to go with Drew Dober. I'm going to go with Stephanie, and I'm going to go with Azamat Bekoyev, who's probably going to beat the shit out of Yusuri Belgauri. This is Boatan's training partner. He's had his chance in the UFC. Didn't go great on Dana White Contender Series. I think Azamat's going to beat the shit out of him. He's very good. There you have it, folks. Let me know your thoughts down below. Again, the lack of promotion, the lack of love from the UFC sucks to see. I love the company. I love the sport. I love the fighters. It is the most entertaining thing I've ever seen in my life. Why doesn't the company promote like it used to, man? Where is the love? Where is the drive? Where is the promotion that we used to love and praise? Guess they shifted to fucking boxing.